When I asked my dad if he had any dreams when he was growing up, he said that when he was 13, he was in Mrs. Brown's class and they read Steinbeck's The Pearl. He told me that that was the first time he realized how powerful that writing could be. He said that book changed his life, and he said that he always wanted to be a writer. His father did not think that was a good idea. His father discouraged him. Fast forward 10 years later, and my dad is in his early 20s, and he's in the Peace Corps going to Korea. During that time, he meets a monk who lives in the mountains, and he said while all the other Peace Corps volunteers were going off into the town to go drinking and socializing on the weekends, that he was always going to this monastery. When I asked him why he would go to the monastery instead of going into town to drink, he laughed and he said, "Are you kidding? It was so beautiful there. It was quiet, it was nature, it was peaceful. I could sleep in a clean room and wake up and make coffee and sit with this monk as he did his monk things." Apparently, he had the option to stay and become a monk there, but he chose to leave. He went to Hawaii, he bought a sailboat, he bought a bicycle, he met a young woman, and he wanted a family. When I asked him if he ever thought that he should have stayed and become a monk, he said absolutely not. He said, and there was such certainty in his voice, that he needed a family. He wanted a family. He wanted it more than anything. When I asked my mother the same question, if she had any dreams when she was little, she went to when she was 16. She said she was reading the want ads in the newspaper, and she saw an ad for a sculpture class. She said, "I never went anywhere by myself, but I had no problems going to the end of this lime kiln road where a woman named Frank Epping had a studio. She walked in, and she was the only young woman among lots of old women. She said they were all gathered around different tables, and they were making wire sculptures. She said that there was something in her that just clicked when she read that. She knew that this was it. And the way that she said that was the same certainty that was in my father's voice when he said he knew that he wanted to go to the monastery, but also that he knew that he wanted a family. Later on in my mother's life, she had other moments like this. It's like she weaves in and out of them. When she's following her heart and she goes to that art class, even though she's never gone anywhere by herself. But then she goes back and reason kicks in, and so she starts to study marine biology because that will get her a degree and that will pay for her life. But then she goes back to school and she takes another 3D design class, and again, that click in her voice says, "This is it. This is what I want."